Rich, creamy, beautifully spiced. This is Japanese curry from scratch, my friends, but it only takes about 20 minutes. This is my super quick weeknight Japanese chicken curry. Japanese curry, we're gonna make it from scratch, but it's gonna be super easy and uber quick, which is like really cool for a weeknight. So let's get on to the chicken first of all. I'm using chicken thighs because you guys know that I love chicken thighs way more than chicken breast. I'm a legs and thighs girl and I will get that t-shirt made one day. Let's start off with some seasoning here. I wanna get some salt on these guys. Just because we're doing things quick and it's a weeknight doesn't mean we don't wanna do things properly. We don't want to talk properly, or you know what I mean. I'm in a hurry, so I'm getting confused, but you want to put lots of salt on your chicken here. That's going to start layering the flavor. I want to get some oil into our pan here. And one of the things for me about like really quick weeknight cooking when I get home from work and the kids are, crying and everyone's in a rush and it's just a schmozzle is get rid of the chopping board. So, try not to chop things. So what I do with my chicken thighs for this one is I just get some scissors and I just chop. Put a little bit more salt on the other side here. And what I'm looking for here is just a little bit of color on that chicken. It doesn't have to be cooked through. I just want to get a bit of that chicken flavor into my pan here. Okay, so 3 or 4 minutes in and we've got some chicken that's fairly well colored here. I'm just gonna take it out just onto a plate. Now, see all that stuff in the pan there? That is good stuff. Don't get rid of that. I'm just gonna add to it though a little bit more fat. I just want some butter. Because the base of, a Japanese curry is a roux, which is butter, flour, or fat and flour, and that kind of acts as our thickener a little bit later on. So I had some oil and chicken fat in there. Now I've got the butter. Now I'm gonna add in my flour, just plain flour or all-purpose flour. And you want to mix that pretty vigorously here. Now just keep cooking and stirring this for about a minute. What we're doing here is cooking out some of that like flour flavor. We definitely don't want like a pasty flour flavor in our finished curry. Now I'm going to go in with some curry powder. If you have some Japanese curry powder, that would be great, but this is just like a regular supermarket curry powder that I've got. And I want a good, decent whack of that. I mean, it's going to be a little different depending on what curry powder brand you have at home, but that's cool. Go your own adventure. It'll be great. Now at this point, I want to turn the heat off, and now I'm going to whisk in some water because turning the heat off and whisking the water in just helps to even out any lumps, or not develop any lumps, more like. Okay, if you're using a wooden spoon, you definitely want to get in with a whisk now, just to whisk anything or any lumps out. And it kind of looks a bit weird at the moment. Definitely doesn't look like your thick, gorgeous, rich curry just yet, but trust me, it will work out. So now we turn the heat back on, and I want to go in with some apple juice. I know it's a bit weird, but like even the Japanese curry cubes usually have like a fruit flavor, apple, peach, pear, and I really like the extra little bit of sweetness and a little bit of fruitiness that it adds. It's really nice actually. It's good. Now we're going to go in with some ketchup. Okay, I guess you wouldn't have guessed that might be an ingredient, but okay, hear me out here. Ketchup has a really great concentrated tomato-y flavor, which is very rich in umami, savoriness, so you get that extra element, not just of salty, but also that savory umami element. And then it's just got a little bit of sweetness and tang. So, it's a good guy. No food snobbery here. I want some soy sauce as well. And we're going to add in some extra whole spices here because, as I said, even though we're in a rush here, it doesn't mean we can't do things nice. So I've got some cinnamon, a cinnamon stick, and some star anise as well. Just mix that in. So now we're starting to get a really nice, gorgeous, Japanese curry color, a bit dark and mysterious, but we want the texture. So what I want to do is just sort of bring this heat up and allow that to simmer for about 5 minutes. That'll get all the flavors making friends in there, and also that'll give us the right texture. So we'll come back later. Okay, so this is the kind of texture that I was talking about, like rich, creamy, glossy, and that all comes down to that butter and flour roux that we made a little bit earlier. Look at that, I love the shine on that sauce. It's just happiness, so joyful. Okay, now we want to go back in with our chicken. And then again, to save time here, and at risk of turning this into like a bain-marie of death dish, I am going to use some frozen vegetables because I don't have to chop them. They came straight out of the freezer and I just have to pour them in. No need to be a hero every night of the week. And now to jazz things up even a little bit more, I'm going to add just one final little touch here, and that's some garam masala. You could also just use extra curry powder if you want. I just find like at the end here I want like an extra hit of spice, like fresh spice, so I like to add in that little extra kick here. Now just stir all of that through. And I know this is like it looks a little bit like school lunch or something kind of a vibe. Definitely not what, you know, an Instagram influencer would put on their account, but do you know what? It is what it is. It's brown, it's thick, but it is so delicious and so comforting. Not everything has to be, you know, like poke bowls or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with a poke bowl, but you know what I mean. Rainbow salads and such. Okay, now you definitely want to taste this for seasoning because you know, we did add some salt and some soy sauce, but let's just see. Like, it is ridiculous the depth of flavor you can get in that sauce in such a small amount of time. Ridiculous. I'm going to add a little bit more salt though. Okay, look at that texture. Oh, phenomenal. All right, to serve this up, I've just got some rice here. And we just ladle out a generous portion of our Japanese curry here. Oh goodness, that looks good. Just some final little touches here. I want some spring onion. And then this isn't optional, but I'm going to put on some sachini togarashi, which is a Japanese chili spice blend. It's not super hot, but it does have a little bit of kick, but it's got like sesame seeds and some other aromatics in there that kind of make things a bit more special. So just a little sprinkle of that. So there you go, my friends. Japanese chicken curry from scratch, super quick, very simple. Let's just get in here and try some though, shall we? Smells really good. As I said before, that sauce to die for. The chicken is beautifully tender, so soft, and just that whole flavor. Like, it's amazing that you can do that so quickly, such a short amount of time. I mean, oh, come on, that's epic. That sauce. It's like so buttery and yum as well. No, that is definitely like couch Netflix material. Let's go. Need a pillow, a curry, a bowl of rice, and I'm off. If you've got any comments or questions, pop them below. And if you enjoyed the video, why not hit that subscribe button plus the little bell one, and that way you'll get notified every time I release a new video. Thanks, guys.